Hello, everyone, and welcome to the What's Dillies podcast, a podcast where we aim to entertain and bring you behind the scenes and into the minds of my favorite dancers in hopes that it can help you in your dance journey and maybe you can apply it in your life too. For our fourth guest of the season, we have someone who is an creative entertainer, undeniably one of the biggest clowns in Project, arguably one of the best freestylers in NZ. He is a part of Hooligans, Hype Rush Empire, Project Team, and the main reason why you all know him, the guy from New Zealand's Got Talent, my friend John Vaifale, aka Happy Feet.
Yo, what's up,
Welcome,
what's
G.
up?
Did you like that last one, G?
Yeah, thanks, G. Oh, a bit of a note, also, I'm a part of, Instance Movement, shout out to Instance Movement, my B-boy crew.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Didn't
all
know
good?
that one, G. Alright, G, what's one random fact that like people don't know about you, you know?
Oh, damn, one random fact that people don't know about me. Oh, shucks. Okay, hold up. I actually have to think about this, because I tend to let everyone know what they know about me. I think one random fact that people don't know about me is I was a thief when I was a child.
Do you want to go into the stories or we leave that for another time? We leave that for another time.
Up to you. Is it part of your questions, or you want me to go into the stories? I can go into it if you want me to.
Up to you, G. Up to you.
yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah. So one thing that I think nowadays everyone's always thinking like, oh, it's Happy Feet, like he's just like pretty good dancer and all of that stuff, and he's funny. But like I think one thing that people don't know is that I was like a bit of a thief. When I was growing up as a kid in Clinton, I used to like steal a lot. Stuff from like the warehouse, the New Road, Dairy, $2 shops. Shout out to all those places. And shout out to the stores. shout out to the stores I stole from. Yeah, nah, like it was for like those obvious reasons as a kid, like you can't have it or you can't afford it, so what else are you gonna do? You're gonna go and get it yourself with that 5-finger discount. But I eventually got caught, which was good because I learned from it. That's the main part. So you learn from your mistakes. I got caught. Shout out to the lady who ran outside from warehouse and found me.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought I made it outside the door, and I was like, oh, you're sweet. I got the toy, and then turned around, and there was this like lady from warehouse. She was running down, and she's like, "You come back here," and I'm like, oh, that was it.
oh, did you not run? Did you just follow her?
Because I walked out, so I was a calm stealer. I wasn't one of those thieves that would come and be like grabbing and run. Like I was like a calm. Like I was, funny enough, people didn't realize, but I was like the planner.
Yeah.
So it was a group of us kids.
Yep.
And so I was the one who was always like planning what everyone's doing. So for example, I would get one of my mates to ask or stall while the rest and try turn the worker around. Not facing the door, so we could get out. There was one time when it was just me and my mate Vincent, and so shout out to my mate Vincent. He's my childhood best friend. Yeah, Vincent Africa, if you're around. But me and my mate Vincent, and so there was this one where we pretend that he was sick, but really he had the toy under his jumper, and so he would just be sick, and I would pat his back, and I patted his back and would rub his back all the way out.
Oh,
Like
dude,
I
that's
used to,
sneaky.
I used to like plan it, bro, with me and my friends. So we weren't just those thieves that would run in and just grab it and hope for the best. Like I never liked that way of stealing. I was actually like I'd rather be out there like calmly get out and then everything was sus. But one time we got caught, it didn't work out. I think there was a flaw in my plan, and a lady ran out, caught us, took us in. Cops came, jumped in the car with them, only to find out that I lived right next door to the shopping center. They didn't have to drive far. They're like, "Where do you live?" Said my address, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you're like right here." So we drove there, rocked up to my house, and I was in the backseat of the cop car, and my mom was gardening with my brother and sister, and I think that was like the funniest moment when I think back to it, because like she looked at me and she was just like, "Oh, yo, you about to get this." She was just like, "Oh, yo, sweet, yo, I'm gonna teach you the lesson," and we all know what the lesson was. And so Yeah, and from that point, I just like learned. Or did I? No.
Oh.
I went back one more time.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Did you get caught?
yeah.
Oh,
It was
shit,
the
again?
second time. So
Yeah.
after the second time,
Yeah.
I got caught. That's when they put the 3-year ban on me.
Oh,
And
3
so,
years.
yeah.
Holy.
But it intended to end up only being a 2-year ban because what do you call it? I remember just walking through one
Yeah.
time. I just was like stuff it. So I walked through, and I saw the security guard there, and he knew about the 3-year ban, and so the security guard was like, "Oh, John, come into the office." And so we went into the office, and he was just talking to me, and he just said like, "Are you still stealing? And be honest with me." And I liked the guy. He was a old dude. He was real like calm. Like everyone in the area respected him. So I didn't mistreat him. I didn't lie to him. So I was like, no, I'm not stealing anymore. Like after that second time, when I got caught and then I went back home again, and then the discipline happened.
Yeah.
After that second time, I kind of learned from it. And then so when this old dude was like, "Are you still stealing?" I was like, "Nah, I'm not." And that was the truth. I wasn't stealing. I like kind of was like, "Oh, dude, I'm over it because I'm over getting caught."
Yeah.
And so like I told him no. I was honest with him, and then he was just like, okay, cool. And he lifted the ban. And so he lifted, it was a 3-year ban, but he lifted the ban in like a year and, actually I don't know, I'll just say 2 years.
Yeah.
So I still had one more year, but dude, I couldn't take it because I live right next to the shopping center. So like I need to go there, or whenever I was told to like go buy fish and chips, I had to like hide. Because if any of the guards saw me, they'd be like, "You're not allowed here, like get out."
Yeah.
And so it was cool. He lifted the ban and then let all the other guards know, the security guards around the area, and then I was back. And then from then on, I just changed. I was just like, oh nah. I mean, I changed as a kid when I was a kid, and then later on, as a teenager, you still kind of make bad decisions at times. But at that time, yeah, I learned from it. It was cool. Oh no, it was not cool.
Yeah.
No, I regret that.
Oh, the
Sorry.
lesson was.
It was a lesson. Yes, it was a lesson well learned. Lesson well learned.
Well, that's fuzzy because when I searched it up,
Yeah.
it said that you only were banned for 1 year. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was 3. But
It was
now
actually
makes
3.
sense.
I kind of in the interview,
Yep.
I was supposed to say 3 because it was the video,
Yep.
but I only said 1 because if I said 3, it just seemed kind of like really really bad.
Yep.
So I just kind of thought. Also, the guy who was interviewing me, he's just like, "Up to you. You can say like 3." And at the time, I was just like, "Oh, I don't want to seem that bad," so
Yeah.
I kind of just said 1. But the truth was, it was actually 3, which doesn't make a difference if it was 1, 2, or 3. Like I was still banned
Hard.
from the shopping center, which was kind of like from stupid decisions. But like you learn from it. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Clinton Shopping Center.
Yeah, shout out to Clinton Shopping Center.
Also-
Thank you for not giving me a lifetime ban.
Hard. Thank you for helping him feed himself. All right. So if you don't know about John, John was actually the person that helped me come up with the name What's the Dillies unintentionally. We went down to Battle on the Bays. I asked him. He said, because bro, did you think we were going to win?
No, I didn't think we
Yeah.
were gonna win. I swear, when we were sitting there,
Yeah.
and do you remember? I don't know if you remember, or you probably do, but like when they were calling out second place.
Yeah.
Do you remember us standing up?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
we were getting ready to clap
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We were standing up because we were like, okay, cool, let's go grab our second place trophy.
Yeah.
Because I remember that night we were watching Soul and we were like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, Soul is actually quite
Yeah,
tight.
yeah.
They were clean and stuff. And then when they said second place, Soul, bro, dude, I just remember us all falling and dying and laughing and just being like, what the heck?
It was hectic.
It was hectic. And then we won and flipping
Cause
it's because of the bet.
yeah.
But I didn't realize that like you remembered the bit. You know what I mean? That whole like if we win, like I'll shout us dinner. I said that to motivate us, bro.
At the time, okay, so this was at a comp we did called Battle on the Bays, and we were in the mega crew
No,
adult division, and there were only 2 teams, so it was out of us and Salt.
Yeah.
So we came in and we were just having fun. Like we were just a bunch of boys having fun. That's pretty much what the hooligans is, you know. So we came in, we were gonna have some fun, and we didn't expect to get first. We were like, "Yo, boys, this is just a mean trip." Like
Because Salt was good, bro.
exactly. And we had so much fun. Like we were just chilling. We had Airbnb. We were chilling hard out, and it was cool. It was like heaps of memories made. So we were coming in with the intention of, yo, let's just do us, and then whatever happens, happens. So when John said, "Hey guys, if we get first place, I'll shout you guys dinner," and the thing is, he said that because all of us weren't in that mindset of getting first. We were just there to, you know.
I
have a
just
good
wanted
time.
us. I just wanted to motivate us to.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were just at the Airbnb
Yeah.
and we trained for like an hour and a bit, and then we were just chilling.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, maybe we should keep training a little bit more." So I made that flipping stupid bit, but what came out was funny.
And he still didn't shout us dinner. So
I didn't because Mans was on broke.
yeah, yeah. But you know what? It did motivate us, and we did get first somehow, which is, you know, it's
Amazing.
pretty
It
cool.
was amazing. I loved it though.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then the name coming out. Oh.
Yeah.
And then from there, I remember everyone cracking up, because it was like, so the story is we're like in the van. It's the thing is over, and we're all in the van in the parking lot, and I'm just about to turn the van on so we can head back and grab some food, and then head back to our Airbnb. And then it's kind of quiet. Everyone's like tired. People on their phones, and then all you hear is just this faint voice, in the back of the van, and it just yells out,
What's the Dillies?
"Yo, John, so what's the Dillies with dinner?"
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, don't ever in your life say that we're Dillies like we all know what it means. And everyone in the van, all the boys just started dying and cracking
Gee,
up.
you know what's messed up though? You guys all laughed at me, but you guys said Dillies more than I ever did, bro.
Yeah, we did.
Like you guys always made fun of me for it, and I'm just
It
like,
was-
I said it once that whole night, bro, and you guys kept saying it, and it's just like, bro, come on, boys.
It was the fun, dude. And then like from then on, the rest of the weekend, dude, that was your name, G.
Yeah.
Like no one called you Andy anymore. Like from that one moment in the car park, dude, your name was not Andy. It's just like they were like, "Yo, Dillies, what's the Dillies?" Oh,
Yeah.
it was funny, man. That was like a highlight. That was one of the highlights of that weekend.
And actually, at the end of last year, we had our little Christmas get together for project, and I'm not sure. Did you come up with the awards, or did Mele come up with the awards?
Oh, we came up. Yeah,
Yeah.
we both came up with some of the awards. Yeah.
We had like a kind of prize giving, I guess, and we had awards given out, and we had like a few real awards and a few fake ones, and I got a fake one that was the What's the Dillies
Yeah,
award
what's the Dillies award?
for always wanting to know what's happening.
That was a good reason.
That was actually really
That was a
accurate.
legit reason.
That's accurate as I'm always asking what's
That's
happening.
accurate. Like if you know Andy, you'll know that he always wants to know, which is a good thing. But it's just funny when you got the award. It was like the next award is what's the Dillies award, and everyone knew who it was for.
Exactly.
Like no one was like, "Oh, who's it for, bro?" Just dying. That was so funny, man.
Do you know why I always ask what's the Dillies? Because you guys never invite me to things. You guys never invite me to things. I always see it on the story. I always see it on the project story. I
Bro,
always see it
you
on
know
your
what?
personal stories.
That's because we always like sometimes by accident we make like a plan. Like,
Send me a
let's train.
text, John. Send me a
It's 'cause we make
text.
random training nights, and then like we forget to invite everyone.
Yeah.
And we're like, and then we're in the training, and we're like, why is it so empty? It's like, oh, duh, because we didn't tell anyone else by accident. But yeah, I'll send you a text. Andy. I'll send you a text.
Fuck, he's not gonna send me a text. They never send me text. You know what? I got a DM from Tommy. He was like, bro, fuck, how come Project never invites you to things? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, G.
You know what's funny?
Fuck.
It's the fact that we like Handy love everyone. We love you too. But we always forget to like
Yeah.
invite people.
Hard.
Sorry.
like,
Shout out to
nah,
everyone
nah,
else that saw that and just only saw us and no one else in Project and those jams.
Shout out to all the people that always reach out to me and invite me to things. Alright, before we skate our way to the main questions and get our groove on with this episode, we're going to bounce right back and rock the boat a little bit by sliding into John's personal life
Wow.
and getting to know him a bit more. And if you didn't know, that is what, John? What did I just emphasize?
The 5?
Yeah. Skate, groove, bounce, rock.
Oh, bro, how dare you?
Yeah?
How dare you bring the hip hop foundations?
Yeah, let's go. See, I did my. It's a bit corny, but I did my searching. Alright, this is a segment I call Changing Tires with John
Oh
Vaifale.
my gosh.
Changing Tires with John Vaifale, aka Tinder Feet. If you know about changing tires, then this is a good one. Alright. So this was
Didn't think you're gonna expose me like that.
Nah, they don't know what it's about, bro. But we won't have to go deep into it, you know?
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
ask you, they ask you. But if they don't, this is just a fun name. Alright, bro. What's your go-to place to eat, and what's the dish you always order?
Oh damn! Alright, cool. My go-to place to eat would be usually like some fast food joints. But if I were to really like name a place that I go to and then
Yeah.
what I would eat from there a lot,
Yeah.
I'd say oh bro, you know what? Food Junction. The chicken korma
Eesh.
with the garlic cheese naan, bro. I don't know if you guys ever go to Food Junction. Oh, this is well-known places that place that does the butter chicken. Stop grabbing that butter chicken, bro. It's average.
Yeah.
Grab that chicken korma,
Yeah.
that garlic cheese naan. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Hey, you really gotta switch it up because Indian food actually has so much depth of flavor, bro.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It's not just colors, man. Like
Hard.
they taste good as well.
Hard. Okay, question 2. You went to De La Salle College. What was the best and worst thing about going there?
First of all, it's De La Salle.
Oh, my bad.
Tell
Sorry,
me
bro.
what that, not the
My-
De La Salle, not the. I didn't
Gee.
say Manu Rewa. Wait, what'd you say?
English
the,
is my second language.
the best worst?
Yeah, what's the best and worst thing about going there?
Oh, okay. Okay. Best thing about going to De La Salle,
Yeah.
and for those who don't know, you spend at the normal high school you spend 5 years, but at De La Salle you spend 7 years at
Hey.
year
Oh.
7 to year 13.
Oh, that's cool. That's yeah.
But the best thing about De La Salle, I reckon, was the brotherhood, the friendship and the brotherhood of La Salle. When you go there, you're part of that brotherhood. You join it, and then because you and your form, you guys spend 7 years together. You create a very very strong bond
Yeah.
from when you guys are in intermediate in year 7 to when you hit year 13, leaving together. So the brotherhood is strong. If anything, even though we may not be well connected, like we may not be, because there's still cliques.
Yeah.
People still have their cliques and their group, but when something requires all of us, or one of our brothers is maybe sick or like terminally ill or something, we all come together. And I think that's the one thing I love about De La Salle. I think the worst thing I didn't like about De La Salle when I was going there, oh man, there was quite a few,
Yeah.
but I'd say one that was like, one that was super annoying
Yeah.
was when you meet girls. Now, when I say when you meet girls, the
Yeah.
one thing that was super annoying is that De La Salle was such a well-known school that whenever you met a girl from another school,
Yeah.
they always knew someone, and I think that was super annoying.
Really?
Like literally, like
How's
so
it
like
annoying?
the goal.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, but like one of the like goals of a De La Salle boy when he's like in high school and you're trying to and you're in that kind of like I want to get a girlfriend
Yeah.
phase
Yeah.
is trying to find a girl who doesn't know anyone from La Salle.
Hey.
Yeah, cause dude, I met so many girls, and then at first it'll be cool, and the moment they're like, "Oh yeah, do you know?" or
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, you go La Salle, you must know," and it just became annoying. I finally found one during my time. I think it was year 11 or 12. I found one
Let's
girl,
go.
and she went to Rose Hill, which
Yeah.
was crazy, but. I remember I was talking to her. We connected real well, and she was a dancer as well.
Oh.
I actually met her on a music video shoot. But like, she was a dancer as well.
Do we know her? Is she
Nah,
still
she's
around?
not. She's
Oh,
not still around. She's not around
Yeah.
anymore. But like, and what made me like her even more
Yeah.
was when I said, "Oh, I'm from La Salle. Do you know anyone from La Salle?" And she was like, "Nope." I was like, "Oh, that's it." I was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, that's it." Like, yeah. Because it's so hard. Like,
Yeah.
Lasallians know, like, so much, or, like, a lot of people know so much Lasallian boys, and we're only a school of 1,000 boys, but maybe they think the boys just get around too much.
Fuck.
Stupid. But that was, like, a bad thing, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
our school was, too well known. It was just annoying. But I love the brotherhood, too.
Bro, that's so interesting, G. That's crazy answer. Question 3. What's your favorite song to sing in the shower?
Oh, man.
I know you got one, bro. You always sing.
Suckers. Yeah, I think oh dude, you know what? It would have to be oh my gosh, I sing this heaps but I can't remember the title. It would be Breaking My Heart, or people know it as Pretty Brown Eyes by what's the dude, I know the
Is it by Destiny's Child?
Nah, it's that dun pretty dun dun that boom pretty brown eyes.
Ah, damn.
Oh
I know that
damn.
one.
So that's one, either that or any Boys to Men.
Yeah. Oh, yo.
Bro, any
Yeah.
Boys to Men in the shower, G, because the acoustics,
Yeah.
it makes you see like you're not like the best singer, but when you have good acoustics in the bathroom, dude, it has the best.
Favorite Boys to Men song?
Oof,
Gee,
I'd
mine's
say-
always Bended Knee. On
Really?
Bended Knee. Yeah, bro. I love that song, G.
dude. My one's always End of the Road.
Oh, yeah. That was beastie.
Dude, that
Yeah.
one comes in strong in that chorus. And if you always wonder why singers always make covers in their bathroom, it's
Yeah.
for that reason. Because the acoustics in the bathroom, for some reason, are always good. But if my song that I always sing, End of the Road, bro. We've gone.
Question 4. Where did the name DJ Odik
Oh, no way, G.
So this is DJ Odik, spelled Oddik.
Oh,
I did my research.
You did, bro. You did.
This
Dude, I
was,
haven't heard that name in ages.
Did I say it right,
bro.
or-
Yeah, DJ
Yeah.
Odik.
Do you want to fill the people in on what DJ Odik is?
Okay. For those who don't know, I should have said this as my random thing. People that know me.
Yeah.
So for those who kind of know me, they know that I like I make music. Like, I like to make beats. I like to make remixes nowadays. But then obviously when making beats, you know, one of the first questions would be, oh, how did you start, or where did you start?
Yeah.
And DJ Odik is where I started. So way back in like 2011, 2010, around those days, I was introduced to Fruity Loops, a software called Fruity Loops.
Yeah. That's truly the OG software.
Yeah, my friend, shout out to Daniel Pinu. That guy is a good childhood friend of mine. He was the one who introduced me to Fruity Loops. And so I used to always go over his house. And so we would always make beats and stuff. It wasn't the best beats.
Yeah.
It was not the best beats.
Yeah. I had to listen to a few.
And also, bro, back then I was this is a story for another time, but I was handy into techno. I
Yeah,
loved techno, and that was all thanks to my brother. Shout out to my brother Jackson. He used to go to like when he was going out to clubs and raves and that. He used to always bring back CDs of these techno songs and play it out loud in our house. And obviously, when you grow up, you listen to what you grow up around.
Yep.
So I love techno, and so I started making techno, as you probably heard,
Yeah.
and it was terrible. Like, when you listen to it now, dude, back then I was like, yo, this is fire. I was like, this is fire, bro. But now if I listen to it now, G, it's like completely the opposite, eh? But DJ Odik, the name came around because it was like, so DJ Odik,
Yeah.
have you ever thought of it backwards?
Yeah, kiddo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was a kid, and I said kiddo, and I was like, oh. And then I think I found that there was another DJ called DJ Kiddo,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn it, like the name's taken. And so I thought, oh, let's just flip it. So I flipped it around, and that's when Odik came. And dude, I was like, before I discovered SoundCloud, or I didn't even know if SoundCloud was around that time, but like I was hard out posting my techno tracks onto like YouTube, bro. And they were, I remember I got my first comment from someone, like random.
Yeah.
Got my first comment on one of my beats, and he said that the beats, he was like, oh, this song makes me feel nostalgia. And I didn't know what the hell nostalgia is.
Yeah.
But I was like, alright, bro. I was like so happy, eh? But it's funny, dude, that's so long ago, man.
Yeah,
oh my
bro.
gosh, I forgot about that actually.
Honestly, I was surprised to see those checks still up. I was like, you must have forgot about that account, eh?
Dude.
Yeah, you
Dude, I
definitely
did.
forgot.
Actually, I forgot about that account, like Hundy. That was, and when I was a kid, like
Yeah.
putting those tracks up,
Yeah.
you know how kids are, they have like
Bro, I reckon you thought you're mean, eh?
bro,
Yeah,
dude,
you-
I was like, dude, a few more weeks, bro, and I'm gonna be DJing for thousands of people. I don't even know how to DJ, bro. I don't know why I even chucked that DJ name on it. But oh yeah, dude, that's a throwback. Shuckers.
If you guys want to listen to some magic, search that up on YouTube, guys. Question 5. What's the most embarrassing moment you've experienced as a kid?
As a kid, oh man. Okay, the most embarrassing. I don't think I have the most embarrassing. I just have like several embarrassing ones.
You gotta pick like the one that sticks with you the hardest. Have to.
Ah, okay. Oh, damn. Okay. The very embarrassing moment as a kid. I'd say. Okay, so there was this one time. It was one of the quite embarrassing ones. There was one time not a long story. It's just I had to play Santa in our school performance in primary, and we didn't have any Santa clothes, and so I was like, oh crap! And so I used to take hoodies to school.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, and the reason why it was embarrassing is because I did not want to play Santa. Like, I wanted to just be one of the kids that was singing the song in the back, like in the choir.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh yeah, John, you're going to be Santa. And I'm like, why? And like, you're going to be Santa, you're going to have to dance, like, in front of, like, all our school. And our school's only, like, 500 kids.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid,
Yeah.
that's like a million.
That's heaps.
That's a million,
Yeah.
bro. You're just like, oh nah. And so like, we didn't have any Santa clothes too. So bro, they just literally, my teacher, she literally just grabbed a hoodie, my hoodie, because she knew I always brought one. She put it over me and then just stuffed a pillow under my stomach, G.
yeah.
And I was like, no way. Bro, and then she just gave me a Christmas hat and was like, now you're Santa. And I was like, the production value for this production is quite low. I was like, far out. Guys, what are we doing? It's like, the production value is just terrible right now. But dude, and then when it came to the performance, I was like, my moment was coming up because the choir would split in half and I would walk through and I would dance. And so I was like, oh man, okay, this is it. Like, it's about to go down. And so I like took a deep breath. Like, do you know those moments in like Stomp the Yard when they're like,
Yo,
and they put the glove on, bro. I was like, and then put the Christmas hat on, and I was like, make sure that the pillow underneath my stomach is tight. And I'm like, all right, let's do this, Stomp the Yard style, bro. They like they opened up, and I walked in, and I was like, all right, cool. And so I started dancing.
Yep.
I was just like doing random stuff. I did the worm and all of that stuff, just waving around, bro. And so I had never done a split before in my life. And so I thought like, oh, bro, like the was it the energy? I'll just say
Adrenaline.
The adrenaline. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
word. The adrenaline was like kicking in, dude. Bro, I just was like, that's it, G. These people, I'm about to give these people the split, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And and so my shorts were quite tight.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, it's about to go down. And when I went down and split, G, bro, it was just like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, G. And it wasn't those small rips, like it was like front to back in front of the school, G. And like so when I felt it,
Yeah.
I was like, I went down,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel it at first. Actually, I was just like, oh, yo, kept dancing. I actually felt it when I stood up, And when I stood up, my thighs could touch, like the skin of my thighs could touch, and I was like, "What the heck?" And then the stupid decision I made that time was I checked in front of everyone.
Oh,
So I checked, and I was like, "Bro, dude, I ran like to the back of the choir, eh?
oh my
And then
god.
I ran to the back of the choir. I hid behind it. I wasn't supposed to. Like I was supposed to stand there and just keep dancing, but." Nah, man. So I ran to the back of the choir. I like hid behind him, took off the hoodie. I like tied it.
Yep.
Oh man, it was embarrassing, dude. That was so embarrassing. And I
Holy
think
crap.
some of the kids, like, if not the whole school, saw it. But I think they're just being polite and not laughing. But I'm sure people were dying, G.
Fuck.
Dude, that was like really bad. And like, what made it worse is no, what made it worse actually was my mom was like angry because she was just like, stop ripping your pants, because I was an active kid, so I was always playing around, always ripping clothes. But just like that time of ripping it, like in front of the traumatizing.
Bro, that's actually rough, G.
PTSD, bro.
I feel for you, bro. That's rough as.
PTSD in all capitals.
Fuck.
But hey, it was a fun memory. I loved it. I love that memory though. It always cracks me up. But to know that I did it and it happened, wear looser clothes, bruv.
Actually, that's such a John move though, because
It is. I'm not surprised, bro,
Yeah, but-
that it happened to me.
you've had so many. I think. Not really embarrassing moments on stage, but I've seen you cake it a few times.
Dude. And it's all because of the same reason, like adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
Like another one is what do you call it? I did a side flip off a stage at MH when we were
Yeah,
performing.
G, I was there, G. I
Dude.
saw it. Bro,
Dude.
we were all like, we were performing for MH's last term day and something. I mentioned this on Mikey's episode, but we were all performing together, and John wasn't meant to like. I don't think you were meant to do that flip that hard, right? You were meant to
Yeah.
just do a side flip, but you ended up doing like a corkscrew or something.
Yeah, dude, I twisted
Yeah, bro.
twice, bro. And then so I put too much momentum. So I can flip.
Yeah.
I can flip. I can control my flips too. But I put too much momentum into this one side flip that I actually spun twice, almost 3 times. And so because I've never spun twice or more than twice ever in my life of like flipping, dude, my mind just didn't know how to land it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, dude, I did that full face plant, bro. Like, and that was in front of like a whole bunch of kids.
Oh, and just to give reference as well, the stage is probably how high do you reckon it is? Like, wow.
I'd say the stage is like, what's something I can like, okay, your usual park bench
Yeah.
times 2. I reckon
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
high
yeah.
the stage
That
was.
makes
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
yeah. So
It was quite high, and I think I wasn't ready for that much height. Yeah, so when I double span, dude, and then the worst part of that experience was I had to still stay there for the rest of the day, and I was like super embarrassed. Like no one could see it, but I was so embarrassed. I even told Millie, I was like, dude, I'm like hella embarrassed, dude. Like I actually don't want to be here for the rest of the day. And Millie was like, don't worry, like it'll be fine. The kids will forget about it. And I'm like, no, they won't. No, they won't. But I carried on in the day, and I think what made me better is that some of the kids, they at MH, they cracked up with me. So they came up to me and they were just like, gee, you kicked that flip, and they're just laughing with me. And I was like, okay, that's funny. Because if they were just like laughing and looking at me, then I'd be like, oh, damn it, like you'll feel it. But I think it was when some of the kids actually like came to me and said I kicked it and were laughing with me and made it eased me. And Millie was right. Like in a few days to a week, people forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh yeah, cool. Like I was walking around school and still helping out with dances and stuff, and people were just still saying like, hey John, like just normal. So that was cool, but that was embarrassing that day. That was another very embarrassing moment. Crikey.
my favorite part about that whole experience was just knowing that John didn't have to do like the flip that hard, and then when he did it, like everyone in the team wasn't expecting him to do more than a side flip, because he did a side flip in one of them, and we're like, oh okay, he's just gonna do a side flip off. But when he spanned twice and he landed, I looked around and everybody was laughing. I was like, gee, isn't Okay, if you want to know what project experience is like, how we are, we just laughed at John before we even helped him, man.
Yeah.
And that was it's kind of sad, but
That's the crew mentality.
it's so funny. It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. It was so
It was
funny when
funny.
it happened.
Good experience. Good experience.
Cool. Question 6. Rank these anime from best to worst. One Punch Man, Demon Slayer, and Naruto. Best to worst. We got a weeb question. What's up?
Okay. My personal. This is my personal opinion, and if anyone wants to disagree,
Yeah.
you keep that to yourself. Nah, my personal opinion, I'd say number 3, Demon.
Yep.
Number 2, Naruto, and number 1, One Punch Man. Now, before people get angry, because I know a lot of weaves and all of that are gonna be like, nah, bro, like shut your mouth.
Hey, fuck Weeb Nation, what's up?
Bro, I understand.
Yeah.
Naruto is dope, and I love it, bro. Naruto had the best
That's childhood
storyline.
memories, bro.
That is childhood memories. I used to stay up and watch it hard out.
Your crop name's Shinobi. What's up? Come on, bro.
Yeah, wait. Let me get to it. Now, the only reason why I'm not saying that One Punch Man is way better, I'm not saying that the storyline is way better. There's so many things in Naruto that totally kills off One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And even I agree to that.
Yeah.
I own up to that. The only reason why I say One Punch Man is like dope is because the character Saitama is relatable to me. Like I can relate to Saitama in terms of his attitude, in terms of how he is. When I say that, so Naruto, I love that dude, and he's a killer, bro.
Underdog story, bro.
Underdog story. Hell yeah. But like when I think of like someone I can relate to, bro, like for some reason Saitama is it. Someone who like is lazy.
Yeah.
Bro, chick.
Yeah.
I love being lazy. Someone who's like laid back and chill. Chick. I love to be laid back. I love to chill. I love to just relax. Someone who's like someone who's good but doesn't brag about it. I win battles in dance, but I don't go off everywhere bragging like, oh, I won all of these battles. Oh, but I won this. I'm just like, I won. Cool. Yo, like solid. Let's go eat. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like I can relate to Saitama and connect with him and be him, but that's the only reason. Everything else, Naruto kills it. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, storyline, plot twists, characters, background of characters, everything you can think of, Naruto is killing it, like, hella hard. But in terms of a character I can just relate and connect to, I'd say Saitama. And then shout out to Demon Slayer, because, bro, that anime just came out last year and, like, was killer. Like, it surprised everyone. It was, like, top 10, top 20.
I don't know.
It just like jumped in it like came almost the same, like in the like top ranking animes. Like it jumped in top 20 or top 10 like within its first week or month of being released, and it was crazy. Like, cause you look at like Bleach and that, they've been around for years.
Yeah.
Then this one anime, Demon Slayer, is like recent and just like killed it. So Demon Slayer is dope. Naruto is hella dope, crazy fire, but Saitama is relatable.
Bro, have you kept up with are you up on the latest episode of Demon Slayer?
They haven't dropped the second season yet, eh?
Yeah, they haven't.
Yeah, I'm up there to them.
Bro, it's gonna get crazy, G.
Is that before the when the mission's the train?
Yeah. I got too excited and I read all the way up to. I'm like quite far ahead actually. Yeah.
You're dumb.
It's so crazy. Yeah, I think I'm at the last arc, and it's insane, G.
I love manga. Like, don't give me.
Yeah.
No wait, actually, let me pronounce it properly. I love manga.
Yeah.
But I think if I start something in manga,
Yeah.
that's how I'm gonna finish it. But if I start something in anime,
Yeah, true, very true.
I'm gonna finish in anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I was like that too. I was like, dude, like, I can't wait for the second season. Like, I want to know something.
Yeah.
But then I've just like kind of calmed myself down and been like, oh no, just wait for it. Like, I started it as an anime. Naruto, I started that in manga. Like, what I'm reading the books back at the library and stuff. Dude, and that was the first time I ever read left to right. You know how like Japanese? I was like, I read it. I remember jumping like opening it for the first time, and I was like, this can't be right. And then I read it left to right, but. Yeah, I think I'll just wait. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah. All right. A few questions left, bro, and then we can just move on. So, who do you think is the most known? You from New Zealand's Got Talent, or Sheldon from X Factor? Who do you reckon gets the most? Shout out to Sheldon.
Shout out to Shelly. Shout out to Shelly, bro. Miss you, G. Hope Glennon's treating you well.
But you cut off your hair, so no one likes you anymore. Oh, what? Nah, we're just kidding.
I actually miss Afro Sheldon.
I like your new haircut, G.
Who is a bit more famous? Me and New Zealand's Got Talent, or Sheldon and X Factor? Because I don't know how Sheldon's fame was.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to say, and this is totally biased.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say me.
Bro, you hear that, Sheldon? Bro, Sheldon, you're trash, G.
No, it's not that Sheldon, bro.
Sheldon, you're trash. You're trash, bro. John just said you're trash, bro.
You are not trash. I love you, G. I'm only saying me because if I'm correct, Shelly was in the band, eh?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the band. But when I did it, I was alone. I think I'm saying me, but I don't know how Shelly's fame was after X Factor. Maybe he was getting hit up heaps, and heaps of people used to be like, "Oh my gosh, that's the guy from X Factor." But I know how my fame was, and my fame was very surprising. So I'd say me. But I might be wrong. I love you, Sheldon. Yeah.
Sheldon, you're trash, bro. No, we're just joking. We love you, Sheldon. Nah, Sheldon, you're popping off, bro.
You are.
We're happy for you. Shout out to Blenny. Okay, question 9. When you were younger, you got hospitalized twice for dancing accidents. You have a crack on each of your collarbones.
Yeah.
What was that accident actually?
Okay.
Bro, was it actually dancing?
No, it was dancing. It was dancing.
Okay,
it was yeah, I remember this day vividly. Do you know how you remember the really bad and really good days, but you don't remember anything in the middle?
Yeah.
So I remember this day very vividly. It was rainy, and then out of nowhere, there was a guy. Shout out to a guy named John Belford. He was a senior when I was a junior. That guy was crack up. He was a good. He was a mean prefect as well, like solid. Always made sure that the juniors were okay and stuff. But I remember this one time, so I was known as the dancer.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew me as the dancer. I think year 8 or 9 or something, people started to realize, okay, this dude's a dancer. And so like in my junior years, it was a rainy day, and I remember when we were walking to the tuck shop to buy some food. And then when we were walking back, John Belford and some of the seniors were, I think they were on the side of the building just underneath the shade, and they had a speaker.
Yeah.
And then they were just, obviously, because I was known as the dancer, but even amongst the seniors, I was known as the dancer. So when I was walking past, they were like, oh, John, I heard you're a mean dancer. And I was like laughing. But you know, as a junior, when the seniors talk to you, you're like, ha ha, like you don't know what to say.
That's
So I was
cool.
just, So I was just like laughing. I was like, oh, ha ha. And I was just laughing. And then John Beth was like, yo, let's battle.
Oh.
And everyone was like, like cracking up. And I thought he was joking, because I was like, I stood there with my chicken wrap, and I was like, oh, ha ha ha. And I was going to continue walking with my mate. But then he came down and he goes, nah, let's battle. But he's like smiling. He's like not saying that angry. He's just like, let's battle, G. Yo. And I was just like, oh, what? And then everyone formed a circle, man. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And so his mate turned on the speaker, turned it up, and then he just started like So John Belfort's not a dancer. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. So
Yeah.
whatever he's doing is not cool. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was like doing
It's kind of
like,
like a clown.
yeah, exactly. So he was doing a bit of that, like that old school like crumping with the
Hurricane jerk?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
hurricane jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was doing some of that. Everyone was cracking up. He went on the ground and did something, and it was funny. And then he was just like, "Your turn," and I was like, "Oh," and everyone was like, "Go, John, go," and my mate was like, "Go, G." And so I gave him my chicken wrap,
Yep.
took off my bag, and everyone was like, "Oh." And so for those who don't know, a lot of people don't know, but b-boying was my first style. So I was like learning b-boying as a young age, and so at that time I was like, alright, cool. I was b-boying, but I wasn't the best b-boy. So I was doing a few b-boy moves. Everyone was like, "Oh," and then I did this one mistake which caused it. And so what that mistake was, and how the crack happened,
Yeah.
was that I jumped like from standing position.
Yeah.
I jumped onto my hands. So like I jumped into a handstand.
Oh, bro.
But what happened was that, so like I said, I wasn't the best b-boy and my body wasn't conditioned for
Did you jump up or forward?
I jumped like forward,
Oh, yeah.
but like I did a high jump, so I went like that.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
And so when I jumped, my hands and my arms weren't conditioned for that.
Yeah.
So when my hands laid on the ground, I touched the ground, my arms collapsed because they didn't know how to hold that weight.
Yeah.
They weren't trained to hold that weight, so my arms collapsed, and so I went straight onto my head,
Oh,
like straight
fuck.
bang. And this is concrete.
Yeah.
So I went straight bang onto my head, and I didn't feel it. And that's how it happened. And everyone was like, "Oh, dude!" They all thought it was a part of it.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh," and then it went onto my head, and I heard a crack. Like inside, you know, you could hear it inside.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard a little,
Oh,
and I was like, but I didn't know what it was, and also the adrenaline. Going back on that, please don't do stupid stuff because of
Yeah.
adrenaline. It's really dangerous,
Yeah.
as you can hear from all of my stories. But so that happened, and then I stood up, and and everyone was like, "Oh!" And then John Belfort came up to me and shook my hand, gave me a hug, and all the boys were like tapping my back. They're like, "Oh, yo!" And then I was like, "Oh, yo, mean." And then bro, and then when I tried to turn my head, pain.
Oh,
When I tried to turn my head, it was like I couldn't even. I think the farthest I could turn was 45 degrees,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't go any further, and I was like sore as. But then I thought, oh no, I should be alright.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my food, I grabbed my bag, and then as we were walking back down to the junior area, I kept turning my head, and it kept hurting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh dudes, I think something's wrong. And then a teacher came, and I was telling the teacher like, oh, my neck's like sore, I can't turn my head. And then, dude, you know what this teacher did, bro? This
he
teacher, because it's
turn-
the old white, it's
Yeah.
like an old man.
Yeah.
And so he grabbed and he's like, you'll be fine, buddy. And he shook my head, bro. And it was like the sorest thing ever. And he was like laughing about it. He was like, you'll be fine, buddy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my head was getting shaken and my neck was hurting bad. And I tried to continue on with my day. But dude, I couldn't, like it was just way too sore. I went to the nurse, told her it's way too sore, and then I told her what happened, and then my arms collapsed, and then she put 2 and 2 together and was like, your arm, you hit your head on the ground really hard and you can't turn your neck, dude, something's up. And so she took me to the hospital, then from there, and she let my parents know, and then in the hospital, pretty much, things happened. Got an X-ray, and then found out from the X-ray that, oh yeah, hey, by the way, you've cracked your collarbone. I'm like, the fudge? And then so, this is the crazy thing. Now this part is like the funny, crazy part.
Okay.
So, like you said, yep, I do have 2 cracks on my collarbone, one on each side.
Yeah.
But the doctor said one is new and one is old.
Oh,
And so I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, so the one on one side is the new crack that you just done today.
Yeah.
But then there's the one on the other side that's actually, we checked it and it's old. It seems like it's been there for a while.
Oh,
and I looked at my parents and I was
Yeah.
like, in my head, I was like, did you drop me? I was like, did you guys drop me, bro?
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't say it. I was just like, in my head, I was just like, I have an old crack in my neck. And they're like, yeah. So you have 2 fractures. One fracture is a new one. One's the old fracture. And I'm like, old fracture? But I never felt it for like my whole life. I never knew that I had a fracture. So
Yeah.
I was just like, hey yo, like, did you guys like drop me and never tell me or something? Like, I can't remember. But yeah, then I was in the hospital for a month or two, had a neck cast for like 6 months, bro, and then I healed, and now here I'm here. But dude, that experience, crazy, man. Don't do anything if you're on adrenaline. Just chill, And that's the story of my fractures and my hospitalization.
Definitely condition your body
Yeah,
first.
yeah, definitely.
But bro, like, fuck, that's so buzzy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I found it. I think the buzziest part was not cracking my neck. It was finding out I had that one of them was old.
Yeah.
That part was like really weird to me because I didn't know.
Bro, does it still affect you to this day or?
No, I can still hear it click
yeah.
and stuff, but it's all good now. It's
yeah,
all good.
sweet.
I still do like, dude. So when the doctor said to me, he goes, okay, these fractures are very like clean and very dangerous. So I advise that you try not to dance. But the doctor told me when I was eating, and you know when you're eating, you don't care about what's happening around you because you're hungry.
Yeah.
So he was telling me, and all I could probably hear was, dangerous, and I'm just like, whatever, dude, I'm eating like, and so he kind of advised me to not dance. He was saying like the best thing is to not dance at all.
Yeah.
Which is like the worst thing to tell a dancer.
Definitely.
But he was saying for your safety, we don't know how long it will take to heal and if it even will heal. But we advise that you cut down your dancing or maybe just try not to dance at all. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, bruv, stuff you. Like I'm still dancing, and me being stupid and naive when I got out of the hospital, but I was already dancing again. Not on my head, not b-boying, but I was still like moving my body around heaps. But yeah, another random story. I broke my toe one time from breakdancing, so please make sure you train b-boying properly. I did a windmill, my foot went straight down and my toe was like this, dislocated. But yeah,
Damn, G. Yeah, just one question left, bro. What do you think is the best thing you've learned from your parents?
Service. I think the best thing I've learned from my parents is service. And what I mean by that is to serve others, like unconditionally.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, my parents, mom and my dad, always would tell me about their upbringing and stuff. And you know when they tell you their whole like, oh, when I was your age, and you're like, okay, whatever. But I think I'm very grateful about that because they taught me like to always unconditionally put others before you, like serve others, as like how you would want to be served or treated, and like help them as much as you can. And so I think from that it just stuck with me, and not only it wasn't one of those things where they just said it and that was it. Like they actioned it too in front of me. Like I had so many people, family members that would come and stay at our house, like that would come and live with us, like uncles, aunties, cousins, all because my parents were like, they'd open our home and be like, oh, if you need a place to stay, because they're moving from the islands here, they need a place to stay. And then my mom would also help them find a job by getting them a job at where she works, even as something as simple as washing the dishes, like a kitchen hand. She would get them a job, and just to help until they can get on their feet. And I think both hearing it and growing up and seeing it, it made it was embedded into my mind and my heart without me knowing. So it was like they were like nailing it into me, and the whole like make sure you help others and stuff. And it wasn't just family too. Like there were a few times when they would send me to go take food over to like our neighbors, who's like, not all of them are Samoan. Like I have a Tongan neighbor and a Māori neighbor, and they're just around my house. And so I remember growing up, and when we had food or whatever we got, or if someone from Samoa brought like boxes of chips and stuff, and we had heaps of chips, they'd be like, okay, put it in the bag. Can you take this to our neighbors over there? Go to the Māori house, go to the Tongan house. Oh, this is from us. And like I didn't think it was much,
Yep.
but then I realized how good it was for us in the long run, because then we had neighbors, and we also had like, and it came back tenfold, because not only did they like come, they bring stuff to us, but also I remember when we were away from our house, and
Yep.
our neighbors saw suspicious activity at our house,
Yeah.
and they were like, and thanks to them, shout out to them, like they were like, are you guys all right? Like they came outside and were like, are you guys all good? You guys looking a bit dodgy, eh? And these guys, they said that they just saw two guys like hoodies up, and they're just like walking around the house, like scoping the house out, because our cars weren't there, meaning we were gone.
Yeah.
And they were scoping the house out, and my neighbor was just like, you guys all good? And then these two guys were like, yeah, and they got like startled and then walked away. And like that's, I think it's and when we came back, obviously they told us, and it's moments like that like, okay, it comes back, like it comes back around. Like if you treat them well, they can help you in the long run as well. And so I think that's the one thing out of everything that they've told me, that's the one thing that has stuck with me. It's like, make sure you're always helping, if you can, as much as you can, and if you can, like make sure you're always helping other people and all that stuff, and just be selfless, and then it'll come back around and stuff. Yo.
Sure, bro. All right, that
All good,
concludes
all good.
that concludes our first segment of Changing Tires with John Vaifale. Okay, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.